Okay, today we got a FIC 2013 Super Socket 7 motherboard. This one has the 1 megabyte onboard cache. There is a 2 megabyte cache board out there. Heard horrible reviews about that one, so I decided to stay with the 1 megabyte. It has the VIA Apollo MV-P3 chipset. 2 USB ports. Only supports the AGP 2X. There are some people that have had issues with the 2X mode, so they've only been using the standard AGP. However, I do not have a 2X AGP card available, so I will be using a 4X AGP card. So let's review some of the extra hardware I've got on here. And the processor I'm using on it is an AMD K6-2 500 AFX. I do have the jumpers preset to overclock it to 550. The board does support a K6-3. I do not have one on hand. Maybe someday later on I will. For the sound card, we're going to be using a Sound Blaster PCI 512, the most affordable EAX technology solution for the PC. This is by far one of the better cards I've had a chance to play with. I picked this one up brand new, cost me $4 in box. It has wavetable synthesis, 48 channel MIDI, with 128 GM and GS compatible instruments and 10 drum kits. It supports Windows 95, 98, NT 4.0, ME, Windows 2000. It is a plug-and-play card. To house this build, I'm not using anything fancy, just a generic ATX case. Nothing fancy about it, it just works. I've already cleaned this out. It was donated to me for this. Nothing fancy about it. So with all that being said, let's start assembling the motherboard to the motherboard tray. I'm not going to bore you with all the screwing, so I will go ahead and get started and get back. After it's been all assembled, I happen to notice, see if I can zoom into that, right there on the PS2 ports, a little dent in the top. This is one of those boards I picked off eBay. Pictures are a little iffy whenever I was looking at it. I didn't happen to notice that. A little disappointed here. eBay people, I don't know. Sometimes you find a good seller, sometimes you don't. Well, let's put it in the case, go from there. Now that we got her all seated in there, looks so nice. Should probably give you a little bit of history about why I am doing this build. Probably 1998, we had finally decided to upgrade our system as a family. And the Super Socket 7 board was what I had. And that was a huge upgrade from an old Tandy 2500 386 SX16. 2 years later, I think we finally put a CD-ROM in it. That was a big upgrade back then. This one, I have a lot of memories with this system. This isn't the exact motherboard I had. It was an old PC chips. Not the greatest by no means, but it had an AMD K6-2 333. And I had managed to overclock that to 350, I believe. So let's get going and install the power supply next. Yeah, it's taking shape now. Let's continue on with the CD-ROM and the floppy. We'll get the hard drive put in there too. Trying to get my flashlight to work. Gotta shake the stupid thing up to turn it on. This is silly. Ugh. Trying to find a real one. Okay, now that we've found a flashlight that works, let's continue on. Okay, now that we got the CD-ROM, floppy drive, and hard drive all installed, time to go ahead and get the video card in. Hey, you guys like that nice little fancy rounded floppy drive cable there? That brings back some memories. Okay, now that we got everything installed, sound card, got the audio cable going from the CD-ROM to the sound card. Give us some of that music from Quake 2 that we all enjoy. Let's button it up. Install Windows 98 SE. See what happens. An update. The original K6-2 build I was doing. Motherboard's toast. Can't use it. So I went through my collection and I found this. This was a build I done quite a while ago. Forgot all about it. It is sitting in a dash computer case. Originally it had a monitor zoom out. Had a monitor and these two drive bays here, and just the floppy was the only other drive in it. The original model number was a DSP-1000, I believe. Or a DPS-1000, my bad. It didn't work whenever I first tried it with the setup it originally had, so I swapped it out for a K6-2 board that I had laying around. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so this is an Ollie chipset. It is a M1542A1. I believe this board has only got 256K cache, unlike the other one that had 1 megabyte of cache. I do have a CF card in there, 32 gig. Yeah, 32 gig. I also have the PCI 512 in there. Put that in there a while ago too when I did this. It's also got a nice little 3DFX. It's a Voodoo 3. It's not the top of the line one. I wish I could find a PCI version of this card, but that's far and few in between. Everybody wants an arm and a leg, and then some. It's like they're gold or something. The processor is an AMD K6-2 or AMD K6-3. I believe it was a 450. Well, let's put it back together. Put Windows ME on it, just because it's the only copy I have right now that'll work. And it is legit. And since everybody seems to play Duke Nukem around here, I'm going to start out with something different. I am going to do Quake 2 Mission Pack Ground Zero. As soon as I remember where the heck I put it. Yeah, in plain sight. Go figure. Blind as a bat. And I already installed Quake 2, the regular one, so let's just get to the good expansion pack in my mind. Best one I ever played. Get the camera a little adjusted here. Yeah, I also have the Reckoning on here too. It was fun. Yeah, those look alright. Wait, is the mouse set up? Oh, free look. Yep, okay. Got the 3D FX on there. Yeah, good enough. Bring back some memories.
Section 5, clear your way. Sergeant Oxhouse. All right, Marine. Haul your sorry asses into formation. Corporal Swampy and Wooly will take point position. Let's do this by the numbers, folks. We don't want any fender benders out here.
Keep an eye on those inertial dampers for your flash on impact.
Get section. Sergeant status check. Short punch. Check. Carbuncle check. London. Check.
Honorable check. Door. Check. Fine. Check.
That's our section. Attention all capital ships.
Brings back the memories.
Fall back to orbit and wait for retrieval.
Back when you figured the graphics were top of the line.
Get your ass back in line.
Because let's thrill.
Soundtrack to this is amazing, in my
What the
mind.
hell was that? Heads up, y'all. I'm breaking formation. Yeehaw!
Picking up a big ass power surge.
Why are the capital ships bugging out?
Something's very wrong.
Alright, due to copyright, I'm not going to chance it. We'll skip past that.
Computer update.
Yeah, well, let's play it till I die. Which I'm sure won't be long. It's been so long. Access denied.
Communication uplink established. Computer updated.
Yeah, okay. That's enough. But yeah, so far, I'm actually kind of enjoying this setup. Brings back a lot of good memories. So anyway, let me know if you like this video. If so, you want me to do more, I can find some more parts and pieces and put together another one. I do have another Gateway Pentium 90 I've been tinkering around with, haven't done much to it. Picked it up here local at an old computer store. It works. It had Linux on it, I got rid of that. I think I put 95 on it. Haven't done much with it other than that. I was originally going to use that as a DOS game computer. See, I have an old Micron P2 450. We can play with that. I got another Gateway tower down here. Tower says it's a P5 133. It's kind of an interesting setup on it though. It's got a CPU adapter chip in it, and it's sitting with a K6-2 333 chip on a socket 5 board. It's kind of interesting little setup. I think my next video is going to be a Ultimate Windows XP system. I got an old Alienware case that we're going to rebuild. I think that'll be fun. I got another video card on order for that.